Today we have 6 authors that are going to come out to share their story of self-discovery. The first author we have is Carla Van Ray. If you want to come to the stage, Carla. She's a best-selling author of God's Call Girl. And we're going to learn about the journey of Carla Van Ray. Okay, so is the microphone okay? Working? You can hear me. Good. To talk louder. Okay, so first of all, Carla, for those who listen, is there anyone here who knows Carla, read her book? So we've got a few people. Okay, so obviously they don't know your story. So would you like to just give us a bit of a brief description about your journey and what it's about?
Okay. Well, most of you don't seem to have read the book. It was published in 2004 and is still selling and been translated to several languages. But it's a memoir, but it's a story really that any reader can identify with. I was born in Holland and came to Australia in 1950, and at age 18 became a nun and was in the convent for 12 years. And left the convent, luckily, by the age of 30. And 4 years later, explored my sexuality by being a prostitute. So from having suppressed my sexuality for 12 years, I then explored it to the hilt for quite a while, longer than being a nun actually. And then I discovered that these life choices were based on a response to abuse as a child. I was sexually abused by my father from a very early age in a very severe kind of way, so that the emotions that were generated by the abuse were very much suppressed during my life, and my life choices were really attempts to resolve the difficulties created by the abuse. So the story is a story of healing, as well as a very interesting and colourful story of life in the convent in the 60s, life as a call girl after that. So that's the popularity of it, is people can identify with the way I write it, with the feelings that are common to all of us, and the healing journey that's common to all of us as well.
So what actually inspired you to write the book? Was that a healing journey, writing, becoming a writer?
What inspired me to write the book? Well, I didn't know I was writing a book. I wrote journals from the age of 12. And that helped me to put my emotions onto paper and get some clarity. And the only way I could get some clarity for myself was to write in a very honest way. I had to be perfectly honest, rawly honest with myself for this journaling to have any use to me personally. But there came a time when someone said to me, you should write your story. And he said, it was a guy at a meditation class, he said, I'll give you a computer. I didn't have one. I'll give you a computer if you promise to write your story. So I said yes. I accepted the computer. So it took 15 years for the book to complete, and in the meantime I'd given up several times, but I remembered my promise. And it kept me going. So I was inspired to write just for my own healing purposes. At some stage I realized this was a book, and then I was following a call, really, God's call, following God's call has been my purpose.
So there's people who've been holding on to their story for a lifetime. Would you suggest that they get on with the work and deliver the message? Because tell us about the journey. One journey, you said, took 15 years to write the book. But once the book's been published, then tell us how your life has changed from being a published author.
Well, being published changed my life completely. I told my story. I was able to tell my story to lots of people who wanted me to give talks, of course. But also, I became a qualified coach and mentor, so because my passion is to help others to make their journeys shorter. I'm now 75 this month, and it's been a long, long journey for me to come to healing. And I know what it takes to heal. And I want to make the journey shorter for other people. So now I'm writing a book about what it takes to heal from sexual abuse and the spiritual aspect that is necessary, I feel, for getting to the bottom of those very deep emotions that we do not want to that we do not want to reach because of our fears. So that's how it's changed my life completely, really.
And tell us a little bit about the convent. I think we're all wanting to know both sides of the scale. I know the ins and outs, but we don't have all day to talk about it. But just tell us, let's have a look. What would you like to share about? You've gone from both ends of the scale, but at the end of the day, I see it as a search for God, as in the search for the connection to Source. And it's whether it's through sexual relationships, or it seems like your journey was that you wanted to discover more of who you are.
Yes.
And so then it's just that it's all God, it's all Source, it's all who we are. We are the nun and the prostitute. There are archetypes that most of us carry, aren't they? But you leave them out.
Yes, I live them in full colour. We've all got those inside us, of course. It was a search for getting to know myself, first of all as a human being, getting to know who I am as a human being, but getting to know myself as a spiritual being. And that's still an ongoing journey. But without that discovery that I am eternal being, I don't think I would have been able to heal at all. So going into the convent, you think that life in the convent is about love, but in my day it definitely wasn't. It was all about rules and about being good and about vows of poverty, chastity and obedience. When I look back now, I can't believe that I ever did that. I mean, people should be taking vows of wealth producing so that I can do some good to other people. Why take a vow of
self-love or self-worthiness?
Yes, vows of self-love. I will love myself and love everyone else. I will be of service to others. By the way, I educate myself by bringing the best out of myself first. So those are worthwhile vows, but unfortunately, the nuns that I belonged to didn't have that wisdom. So it was a torturous time to be in the convent. It was a very strict rule of silence. We were not allowed to have any friends. If you were discovered to be too friendly with any of the other nuns, you were sent to another convent to prevent lesbianism from breaking out, I suppose. But it was extremely harsh. It had nothing to do with love, nothing to do with truth. So I'm very pleased that I've been there, I've done that, and hopefully I'll never have to do that again.
And then tell us a little bit about being a sex worker.
Being a sex worker for me was, to begin with, a very satisfying job. It fulfilled me.
At least you get paid for it.
Yes, that's right. I wanted to explore my sexuality in an honest kind of way without tying myself into a relationship, without expecting too much from one person. And I wanted to be appreciated. I enjoy being appreciated for being sexual, I suppose. And I was born a Scorpio in the seventh house, whatever that means.
No, I'm a
Scorpio. Sexual energy. Yeah, that's right. So I really enjoyed myself for several years, and I attracted the right kind of people, very nice people, to myself. However, there came a time when it was time for me to change and do something else, and then I discovered I couldn't do it. I wasn't able to change. And I became aware of a deep sabotage inside myself, a lack of self-esteem that said, you can't do anything else. You can't be like normal people. So then I realized when I heard this like a voice so clearly. I realized that I had to go on a healing journey. There was something I didn't know what it was, but I needed to heal whatever this was. So it was difficult all the same. It took a broken toe, a very sore back, and not able to get out of bed to stop me really. It was one of my clients who came along and got me out of bed and into the shower and took me out for lunch. Those last days, before I decided to go live in Denmark on the south coast of WA. Between decision and action took 2 weeks. So my life changed very drastically after that.
But now you're helping women with sexual abuse issues. You're counselling, healing
Yes,
them.
yes.
So tell us what you're doing now, because are you offering a free gift today to our audience, or what's your offer?
Yes, I'm offering a free gift. There are 20 vouchers here for an hour session with me. I'm a qualified counsellor, mentor, and coach. So.
And Carla's books and her offer, we've got a store, Better Life Angels, right behind you. So if you want to, all the authors are going to give you free gifts or some sort of offer today, some special, so hang around for that.
Yes. Well, the first 20 people that come to the Better Life store after this can have this free session with me, 1 hour free session. I understand what the syndrome is, I understand what the feelings are, and I'll help you even to discover the feelings that you may not even be aware of that are dominating your life nevertheless. So,
well done.
I hope I'll be able to help.
Thank you, Carla. Give her a round of applause.